No, sir. It's something.
You are in engineering, right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, let's say this is Mr. X. Okay. Mr. X has a salary of 50,000 per month. From this 50,000, Mr. X, has some committed expenses, like he has to bring provisions for the home. He has to pay the rent. He has to make the EMI payments for the vehicle, what he owns. He has some children education expenses. He has to, make sure that like he has some medical expenses for his old parents. All in all, he has committed expenses of 30,000 per month. Sundays he takes his family for a outing, refreshment, okay, recreation we can say. So all in all, he has a committed expense of 30,000 per month. Those are very essential for him to satisfy his needs. I'm not speaking about wants, needs. Okay, wants come under luxury. When you are able to satisfy your needs, you can look for wants. So he is able to save 20,000 rupees per month. I understand in today's scenario this is not possible. Let's take ourselves some 5 to 10 years back. Okay, 20,000 per month he is saving. If there is a locker in his house, every month he puts 20,000 into the locker. Is this money going to grow, Shreyas? My question.
No, sir. It is going to
It's
remain
not
the
going
same
to
even
grow. It's
after.
not going to grow. It's accumulation of money. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
This is accumulation of money. Accumulation of money, is something whereby the money is not going to grow. Why? Because the money is just put into the locker and the money is kept idle. See, if we sit idle at home, what will happen? Nothing works out in our life, correct? If we are sitting idle at home and not putting ourselves into any work, we are not going to achieve anything. That means we are not going to grow. We are not going to achieve anything in the sales. We are not going to achieve knowledge. We're not going to achieve money or earn money, etc. In the same way, money put into locker is useless thing. If this money is put into investments, definitely this money will grow. So what Mr. X is a employee in a company. So he is an educated man. He understands this minimum basic. Now what Mr. X has the options of investing. Mr. X can look into certain investments which are available, investment options available for him. He can invest his money in real estate. But real estate in today's time is very costly because land, real estate in the sense commercial or residential. Commercial properties are very costly because the demand for them is very high. Where the demand is very high, the affordability becomes very tough. Okay, many of us see everyone looks for commercial properties at a prime location. If they can get it, they can start a business. Okay, but there are very smart people who have already invested and blocked those commercial properties in the previous past, or they own the properties and they knew that one fine day this commercial property is going to give them lot of economic benefits or rental income or lease income. Okay, when it comes to residential properties, he can go for open lands or he can put that money into flat. But flats, okay, are not good investments because after some period of time, the money what you put into flats is going to go down because buildings depreciate. Only lands appreciate because lands are scarce. See, today you'll see a piece of land and 50, 60, 70 floors buildings are made. So flats, the inventory of flats are very much available in the market. There is abundance of flats inventory available. Okay, many builders are ready to sell flats. There are 2 lakh plus flats available in Hyderabad to be sold. the buyers are not willing to purchase because some lot of disturbances are going on in the like government has changed, the policies have changed, etc. But when it comes to land, land is very scarce resource and it can be put into multiple uses. And earth, the entire earth, what we see, 3/4 is water and 1/4 is land. So this is a very important investment, but again, this is very costly. Mr. X is barely having a limited amount with him. Okay. So real estate is not that possible for him. Yeah, if he is not able to put his money into real estate by buying the lands which are available physically or something, he can do one thing. He can invest in real estate companies. We'll not go into that. We'll discuss that afterwards. Okay, that is called REIT. So whatever terminology I'm using here, I'm not going into detail with this. I'll explain you afterwards when we'll be doing alternative investment subject. Okay. Now we understood real estate is not his cup of tea. Other things, he can put the money in gold. You see, in 2020, gold was selling at 30,000 rupees for 10 grams. Today, the same 10 grams, if you want to buy, you are putting how much? Around 80,000 rupees. So more than double. And in 2023, the gold was 60,000. That means double the money. If someone has put 10 lakhs, he got 20 lakhs. So this is what gold also can create good returns, because gold is a precious metal and gold is always taken by the people like they have rituals. After a certain period of time, they have to give that gold to like their beloved ones, like or like daughters or whatever. See, those are rituals. And gold is also used in multiple industries. Okay, gold, silver, etc. Now, but gold is also a costly affair. He has the option, he can do, or he can start a business on his own. But Mr. X is a full-time employee starting a business. That means he has to resign his job. And when he resigns, he has to take whole lot of risk of running this business. If this business goes into losses, then again, Mr. X is not going to get back his job. Because jobs once you leave your job, again it is tough to get in today's competitive world, cutthroat competition. There are 1,000 people ready to take up that job again, okay, in place of Mr. X. So that risk Mr. X is not going to take. Okay. And business, again, if he wants to like put his money into some partnership, like let's say he and his friends met up and some of his friends are looking for starting a pizza like restaurant, and they are looking for some investors. So Mr. X can put that money into pizza restaurant, but again there are many big companies, Domino's and Pizza Hut. This particular pizza restaurant has to compete with these two giants which are ruling the world. Okay. And we have many local bakeries serving this, but people know ultimately they will get the satisfaction for pizza and all from these people, because these people are pioneers in that. Around the world they are selling and they have got that experience of making the best pizzas. Am I right? So again, he cannot put his entire effort, he cannot put his whole time or devote whole time to this, but he can do that part time. Okay, after coming from office, he can sit for certain period of time into this pizza restaurant and see the effects. But again, his friends and he himself do not have the experience of running this outlet or running this business. Then again, it becomes a risky thing. So what Mr. X has been suggested is, okay, or if Mr. X meets a consultant, like you, Shreyas, if you become a chartered financial analyst, what would happen? You can do consulting. Am I right? A person who is a chartered financial analyst can do consulting work. So like he meets a consultant and he asks the consultant what is the good option available for him to invest. So consultant tells you can invest in stocks, you can invest in bonds. Okay. And then Mr. X picks stocks to invest his money. So what Mr. X does, what the consultant says to Mr. X, You can invest in some of the topmost companies which are running their businesses in India. You can go to Bombay Stock Exchange website, or you can go into Nifty. Nifty has 50 companies in it. Bombay Stock Exchange has 30 companies. We call it as Sensex. Has 30 companies in it. These all are top performing and large cap companies which are registered or listed in this two stock exchanges. Okay, major stock exchanges in India. And you can pick Tata, Tata Motors for that case, and put your money into Tata Motors. Now, the consultant is giving this suggestion to Mr. X based upon his research. The consultant has, done a 360 degrees study of Tata Motors performance. He has not only studied the Tata Motors performance in one or two areas. Like he's not only suggesting Tata Motors to Mr. X based upon the profit what Tata Motors has earned this year. He is suggesting Tata Motors because the consultant or the analyst or the chartered financial analyst has done a 360-degree study of Tata Motors performance, or a holistic view of Tata Motors performance. Now, what are the areas which the CFA has studied? Because when you meet a consultant, okay, the consultant has to give you the opinion. He is charging you for giving that opinion. So if he has to give the opinion, he has to give it give it after having a thorough analysis and study about something. Am I right? And it is the task and job of the analyst to study the company's performances. So he is going to study the performance of Tata Motors in all these areas. First, short-term liquidity. Second, long-term liquidity. We call this as solvency as well. Third, turnover. Fourth, profitability. Fifth, overall profitability. So these are all called areas of performance measurement. The CFA, the analyst, the consultant who is running a firm whereby the clients go and ask them for suggestions. They are going to give the report about the company's performance, which here we have considered as Tata Motors, by studying all these areas of Tata Motors. If Tata Motors is performing well in all these areas, Mr. X can be suggested by the consultant or the CFA to buy the stock of Tata Motors. Okay. So just make a note of this areas of performance measurement, Shreyas.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we will take up each and every performance measurement and study about them. Okay, in details. Shall we go ahead? Oh, you're writing?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me when done. Okay, I'm waiting.
Answer.
Okay. So let's take the first area of performance measurement, short-term liquidity. So short-term liquidity, we will start the first one in that. So today's topic is ratio analysis. So there are a lot of ways an analyst can analyze a company's performance. Okay. One amongst the various methods what an analyst can apply for doing a company's financial analysis, or this particular methodology what we are studying today, which is ratio analysis. This will be used by the analyst to study the company's performance in various areas which I have mentioned right now. So the first area what the analyst is going to study and give the report about company's performance on liquidity is right now I'm going to write here. Okay, so the first ratio. So see, we have understood there are 5 areas of performance measurement. In that first area is short term liquidity. Under this we are going to study some ratios which are going to give the guidance with respect to company's performance. Okay, and which will help us to conclude whether we should be investing in Tata Motors stock or not, because these ratios will tell us about the liquidity position of Tata Motors. If the liquidity position of Tata Motors is strong, we can invest our money. If the liquidity position of Tata Motors is weak, we should deter from investing money in Tata Motors. So first one is current ratio. The formula for current ratio is current assets upon current liabilities. Now the first major question, what are the current assets? Students won't be knowing. Many a times the students who are not from finance background. And then current liabilities. And before going into current assets and current liabilities, we will first understand what is an asset and what is a liability. Okay. See, if I want to explain you what is the asset, I write something here. Land. You have purchased for 1 lakh rupees and you are holding it for 10 years. After 10 years, this land becomes of some value around 3 lakh rupees. Now, what do you understand from this? Can you say that land is your asset here? Yes. Yes, Shreyas.
Yes, sir. Land has triple, so we can call it.
No, no, not blindly. See, many people, they say land is an asset blindly. They hear from others and they say it. But if we apply our thought process, why land is an asset, we can clearly see that we purchased the land for 1 lakh and it is right now how much?
3 lakhs.
3 lakhs. What do you understand from this? We understand that the land value has increased 3 times of what we purchased that particular land for. Okay. And since it has increased 3 times, that means it has, when we sell this, we will get extra 2 lakh rupees of profit. So this land has created what for us?
Revenue.
Economic benefits. That has created what for us?
Economic benefits.
Yeah, so asset is something which creates economic benefits for its holders. Okay, so now land is somehow not a current asset. Land is a long-term asset because land is some kind of asset which will not give you economic benefits immediately. You have to hold it for a long period of time to get those economic benefits. Am I right? But now,
Yes, sir.
right now we are speaking about current assets. So current assets are also assets which give us economic benefits, but they give us economic benefits within 1 year. Just a second. So this is going to give me economic benefits within 1 year time. Okay, 1 year of time. Land was taking land took how many years to give me economic benefits? It took 10 years for this
10
land
years.
to become 3 lakhs from 1 lakh. Okay, if some assets can give me economic benefits within 1 year of time, I call them as current assets. Okay, and current assets are the one which I'm going to take to calculate current ratio. So I'll write some examples of current assets here. Cash in hand, cash at bank, inventory or stock, so stock is nothing but the one which we buy to sell to the customers. OK, and we always try our level best to sell whatever stock we have as soon as possible to the customers. And when we sell that stock to customers, we add our margin to the cost. Let's say I sell stationery to my customers. So let's say I'm selling one pencil at 10 rupees, which is costing me 8 rupees. So 2 rupees is the margin I add. Am I right? So this is what is my benefit which I'm getting from this inventory if I sell it. Now, then next current asset, what we can write is short-term investments. Next, what we can write after short-term investments. Short-term investments or marketable securities. If you want anything, you can remember. After this, we have outstanding income. OK. Outstanding income is nothing but you are supposed to receive some money from someone who has given this year to you or who has paid you. So this money which you are supposed to receive from someone to whom you have lent money or whatever, or you have given some service, or you sold like or you are an investor, or you have given your property on rent to someone who is supposed to give you money. So all these are something which give you economic benefits in this year. Either you will invest this money somewhere else and get benefits, or else when you give some property on rental basis to someone, it is an income for you, right? Now,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yeah, and then we have receivables. Receivables are nothing but if the company sells goods to customers on credit basis. OK, let's say 8 rupees pencil I'm selling to some customer for 10 rupees. OK, I have made sales here. I have sold good. I am right, but I have sold the good on credit basis. So there are two transactions. One is cash transaction. One is credit transaction. For a cash sale also 10 rupees I will record. For a credit sale also 10 rupees I will record. Here also I am earning 2 rupees profit. Here also I am earning 2 rupees profit. But here I am earning that immediately. Here I will earn in future when I receive the money. Correct? So that is called receivables. Then prepaid expenses. Already the expenditure, already we have paid for some services, and today we are going to take that service for the money what we have already paid. So that service or whatever we want to take today is going to give us economic benefit today. That's a current asset. OK. Now coming to current liabilities, you have short-term loans. Now coming to current liabilities, nothing but obligations which should be settled within a year is current liability. That means there are certain obligations which you need to settle within 1 year. Very easily we can understand short-term loans. It can be hand loan which you have taken from your friend, or you have borrowed the money from bank and the bank is asking you to repay within 1 year time, like 3 months, 6 months or 1 year. It's a current liability. Long-term loans are long-term liabilities. Short-term loans are current liabilities. payables. There are two types of purchases. Cash purchase, credit purchase. Cash purchase is something you paid the cash and you bought the goods. Credit purchase is something you bought the goods, but you're going to pay in future. Since you're going to pay in future, it's a payable, a liability or obligation for you. Outstanding expenses. Let's say I have to pay 10,000 rupees of salary to my employee. Okay. Out of that, I paid 8,000 today. And rest of the 2,000, I said I'll pay him afterwards, after 2 months. But still, I'm taking his service. He is working in my company. Am I not incurring this expense? Please tell. Hello.
We are saying
I'm
we will be
incurring this
paying after
expense.
2 months.
I have to pay him
Yes.
10,000. So 8,000 I paid today and 2,000 I'll pay him afterwards or in future. That's called outstanding expense. So
Outstanding
total
expense.
expenditure is 10,000. Yeah. So this is also a liability. And fourth, income received in advance. Now I'll give you a small example regarding this. First, you make a note of this, please. Immediately we'll go forward.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Done, sir.
Made the notes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is income received in advance? Income received in advance is nothing but, let's say I am a landlord and I have a property which I've given to Mr. X on rental basis. Monthly rent is 10,000 rupees. Just a second, sir. I'm getting a call. So income received in advance, we are speaking about. So being a landlord, 10,000 is the monthly rent for the property which I'm giving on rental basis to Mr. X. I told Mr. X to give the entire money of 1,20,000 to me in advance. But this money what I have taken from Mr. X in advance is my liability. Why it's my liability? Because when I take money from someone without giving services to them, it is an obligation for me. Why? First of all, I took the money from him in advance. Actually, I should be taking the money at the end of every month after provision of service to Mr. X. I haven't given the service to Mr. X right now. That means from my side, the obligation is to give service. Okay. So what happens? First, I will recognize this 1,20,000 as liability, as income received in advance. Okay. Okay. It is also called as income received in advance or unearned revenue. The status status is it's a liability because I have to give the service of 1,20,000 rupees to Mr. X. Now, first month of January has passed, January 31st, and 10,000 of this 1,20,000 I can recognize as my income. Why? Because first month service has been given, and my liability now would be 1,10,000. Like that, December 31st, when it comes, my entire obligation of 1,20,000 has been settled because I've given the service to Mr. X for entire this money what he has paid in advance. So my liability is 0 and my income is 1,20,000 now. Okay. Did you understand, Shreyas?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we'll move forward. Now coming to all the current assets and current liabilities details what I've given, I also told you that my formula for current ratio is this. Now I'll take this again and try to explain you.
So
Sorry.
income received in advance. Yes, sir. 1 minute.
Yes.
So every month, 10,000 from the 1,20,000 gets converted into assets, right?
Every month when I'm getting, see, just a second. See what the thing is. I have taken 1,20,000 from him, right? I have
Yes,
to
sir.
give him the services. So first month has come to an end. Okay, just on 31st January, first month of the year has ended. Okay, now I can recognize income of 10,000 because first month service I have given to them. Okay, but rest of the 11 month service is still due to be given.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
so my
So 10,000
liability
will
will
be
be one lakh ten
income.
thousand. 10,000
10,000
will
will
be
become
income.
income,
This is
and one
liability.
lakh 10,000 will remain liability.
Liability. At the end of the year, on 31st December, the entire liability of 1,20,000 becomes 0 and my income becomes
And complete
1,20,000
income
because
becomes
every
one
month's
lakh
rent.
20,000.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Now we have to make a decision, right? Whether to invest in Tata Motors or not. We will make that decision right now on the basis of current ratio. So current assets upon current liabilities is what with I started. Let's say Tata Motors balance sheet here. I'm seeing the Tata Motors balance sheet. And these are the assets what Tata Motors have. Okay, they have land and buildings, but we are not, this is not relevant for us to find out current ratio. We only look for current assets. Balance sheet may have current and non-current assets both. Okay, so cash in hand they have of 30,000. Cash at bank they have of 20,000. In this way, they have all the current assets. Okay, and receivables, they have 1,50,000. I'll conclude this in this way. So they have current assets of 2 lakhs. And coming to liabilities and equity, they have share capital of some 10 lakhs, not relevant for us. Long term loans they have 30 lakhs, not relevant for us. They have current liabilities. They have payables of 50,000. They have outstanding expenses of 50,000. So their current liability is 1 lakh. See, I'm not taking this, okay, into picture and not at all this into picture. My total I'm taking only for current assets and current liabilities. Now, let's find out current assets is 2 lakhs of Tata Motors. Current liability is 1 lakh of Tata Motors. What do we understand from this? We understand that the liability what Tata Motors has is 1 rupee and the resources what they have is 2 rupees. So out of 2 rupees, if they pay 1 rupee and they want to settle their liability, they are still left over with 1 rupee which they can use to run their business activities smoothly, or they can fulfill their financial requirements with this 1 rupee like fully. Am I right? Isn't it so? See, 1 lakh, they have a liability of 1 lakh, right? Out of 2 lakhs, if they pay 1 lakh, they are still left over with how much? 1 lakh. So can they use this money for fulfilling their financial needs? Yes. What financial needs? They will have expenses to be met on daily basis. So every business will have certain expenses to met on daily basis. Every business should keep some reserves with them. Am I right? So that they should not have shortage of funds when required. And if I have to give a note, the ideal current ratio for a company should be 2:1. And Tata Motors is matching this standard given by the industry experts. When Tata Motors is matching the standards given by industry experts, what can I say? I am the industry expert, right? CFA. So can I tell Mr. X to invest in Tata Motors based upon the liquidity position of Tata Motors, strong liquidity position of Tata Motors? Yes or no?
Yes. Based
Yes.
on current ratio analysis and liquidity, we can
Yes, they
invest.
can invest in Tata Motors. So this is what I wanted to convey you. I wanted to convey you that this is a very you should not be studying the ratio analysis like that. It's not like putting some formulas on the board and just understanding. Why are you studying ratio analysis? If you know the basic or the or just why are you studying some concept, where it is applicable, how it is helpful or useful, then that builds curiosity and you'll be studying more. Okay. Now you understood that if I study ratio analysis, I can judge the performance of a company. Based upon that, I can plan to invest in any of the companies. I know this is a tedious task and time consuming process, but yes, you put your efforts and time, you get excellent results. Fine. Now, my question to you. Let's say if the current ratio of a company is 4:1, is it good or bad? Yes.
It's excellent, sir.
Excellent.
It's excellent for investment. Yes, sir.
Okay. I would say
For
not
every 1
excellent.
rupee, the company has 4 rupees.
Sorry.
For every 1 rupee, the company has 4 rupees.
Yeah. So company has to repay 1 rupee and company has resources of 4 rupees. But I would say this is not good. The reason I would put in front of you. See this, yeah, I'll tell you. This 4 rupees, what we are seeing here, I told resources, not necessary that it should be cash. It can be either cash or other resources which will convert into cash in future. Current assets is all about that. Current assets is not only cash, but it is also having some other kind of assets with it, right? For example, if lot of money is blocked in inventory or stock, you purchased inventory, okay, you are trying your level best to sell this and convert this into cash, but that is not happening. People are not buying. Maybe market condition is not good, maybe recession in the market, maybe your goods are costly for them, maybe people don't find your goods to buy, maybe the demand for your goods is not there, maybe the substitutes of what you're selling to the customers is are better than your product. Lot of reasons. So this is increasing your current assets to high level. And then maybe one more reason can be you have sold lot of goods to your customers. So your inventory is not, you're not able to sell your inventory, right? So you're easing your terms with customers. That means you're giving them credit. So lot of money is again, see, selling in credit is not bad, but timely payment has to be collected. If that is not happening, then what will happen? A lot of money is blocked with receivables. Am I right? And that can go into that can take you into deep losses if they don't pay money, or again you have one more task of chasing them constantly. So when lot of money is blocked in these two current assets rather than cash, your current assets seem to be very high, which is not good for your company. Why? Because it is serious mismanagement with respect to inventory and serious mismanagement with respect to receivables. Okay. And one more thing, If I ask you one question, okay, let's say our mom cooks food, right? So they add salt to the food, right? So for cooking, some recipe, 1 teaspoon of salt is enough. Salt enhances taste. Am I right? We add salt to taste, isn't it so? So if you pour 4 teaspoons, is it going to increase the taste of the food? It's going to spoil.
No, sir.
If you add half teaspoon, it is again not going to increase the, it is again going to reduce the taste. So very less is not good, too much is not good, ideal is good. That's the reason we say 2:1. Understood?
Yes, sir.
That much of understanding is required in the subject. Okay, we'll move forward to next ratio. Just a second. Next ratio is quick ratio. Quick assets upon current liabilities. Now, what is quick asset? All the current assets except inventory. Why I'm excluding inventory from quick assets category? The reason for this is inventory. See, I told you, right? Tangible assets, tangible assets. One of the best examples for tangible assets is land. Land is a very important asset for anyone in their portfolio. But land has a problem, if you cannot do farming on that, if you cannot open a like sales outlet in that, if it is kept like that as an open land, fine. That means you want it to grow in value and you want to sell it, but it is going to take a lot of time. So land will give you very good benefits provided you have to wait for a long period of time in that case. Am I right? So land is a tangible asset. Why it is a tangible asset? You can touch it, you can feel it. It has physical substance in it. But land is a illiquid asset. What I said?
Liquid asset.
Illiquid.
Liquid asset.
Or it is a non-monetary asset. Okay. Just a
Oh,
second,
yes, sir.
Shreyas. Just a second, Shreyas. Just a second. Just a second. Okay. Okay. No. 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 Okay. Okay. Done. It's a illiquid asset and it's a non-monetary asset. That means it will not convert into cash immediately. It will take some time to convert. Okay. The same problem is with inventory. Inventory is one of the tangible current assets. If you see any current asset, the most tangible nature current asset is inventory, which you can physically, you can touch, you can feel, and it is physically existing. So being a tangible current asset, it is the one which is going to take more time to convert into cash. But our agenda is to only take those current assets which will convert into cash in 6 months. That's the reason why we are giving the name here as quick assets. Understood? So inventory is going to take a longer time to convert into cash. So it should be excluded from the quick assets category. Now, whatever the list I gave you for current assets, in that except inventory, we will take all the current assets, and when we total that, we get total of quick assets, and we will divide it with current liability to see the ratio. Okay. Now, the ideal quick ratio for a company is, understood, Shreyas? Any more doubts you have?
No, sir. No, sir. Within 6 months, converting into our assets.
Yes, we are
Passive,
filtering.
passive.
We
Everything
are
except
filtering the assets. We are taking assets which are going to give us economic benefits more sooner. So we
yes,
will remove the impurities like inventory. So ideal quick ratio is 1:1. Okay.
I,
Yeah. After this, one more ratio and one set of ratios, that is quick ratio, is done. Sorry, current assets, current what we say liquidity ratios are done.
current
Okay.
and
Sorry.
both are liquid ratios.
Yeah, there are three liquidity ratios we are going to study. Three.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
There are 30, 25 plus ratios we need to study. So to liquidity ratios, I'm going to wind up right now. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next one. Cash ratio. Cash in hand. Cash at bank. Yeah. Now coming to this conclusion, if the ratio is very high, 3:1, not good. I told you, right? A lot of money is blocked in receivables. I'm not taking inventory here. Lot of money may not be blocked in inventory, but it may be blocked in receivables. And if the ratio
Yes,
is
sir.
less than 1:1,
It is
not good. Sorry.
yes, sir.
Yeah,
I got.
because inventory is not a part of this, right? So only receivables is something in which the money would be blocked. And
If it is
like,
less than one, the money is
sorry,
not going into credit also.
no,
Just get your point.
again, not able to understand what you're saying, Shreyas.
I get your point.
Fine, right? Okay. And if the quick ratio is less than 1:1, it is not good. Why? Because company has liquidity shortage. They don't have enough cash or money to pay their liabilities. That's why.
So can you repeat it again?
See, any ratio, if current ratio is 2:1, good. More than 2:1, somewhat okay, but very high current ratio, not good. Current ratio less than
Good.
2:1, bad.
Bad.
Company has liquidity shortage.
Liquidity shortage.
Yeah, they don't have enough funds to make the payments of liabilities. Let's say it is 1:1. If they pay $1 liability, $1 they have. They are using the entire money to pay liabilities. Again, they have to borrow, and that will again, make them to take loans, and they have to pay interest on those loans. That will reduce their profitability. All problems will crop up there. See, taking loans is not bad. I'm not someone who is denying this, but that creates a pressure on the business to consistently perform well. Why? Because 1 or 2 months, if you don't perform well, that interest payment becomes a burden, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the cash ratio is cash in hand plus cash at bank plus short-term liquid assets or marketable securities whole divided by current liabilities. I've only taken the most liquid assets here. Most liquid assets in the sense the ones which are either cash or cash equivalents. So short-term liquid or marketable security is nothing but a cash equivalent. What do you mean by cash equivalent, which can be immediately converted into cash? Just wait, just wait. So yeah, cash equivalent. Yeah, and I told you, right, this can be immediately converted into cash. 0.50:1 is the ideal cash ratio. Okay. So why like this? See, if you have a liability of 1 lakh and you have cash reserves of 50,000, I'm not saying other current assets which will take time in future to convert into cash. See, if I have a liability of 1 lakh, okay, and I have immediate cash in my hands of 50,000. I'm not saying, okay, we will take a scenario. So let's say this is like Alex. He wants to buy a property. The property value is 50 lakhs and he has to make a down payment of 20% for this 10 lakhs. Okay. He is getting a home loan sanctioned and 40 lakhs he will make in the form of home loan payment. See, 10 lakhs he made the down payment, 40 lakhs is his liability. He got 30 years to make the payment, right? Case 1, case 2. What is happening? Let's say in case 1, he has 20 lakhs with him. Case 2, he has 2 lakhs with him. In which of the cases he is very strong? In case 1. Now I'll have a question, sir. If he is having 20 lakhs, why he did not go for down payment? See, take maximum loan when you get, because housing loan is something which you get at a very low rate of interest. Probably 10% is the rate of interest. Other loans are very costly. Other loans are very costly. Okay. And you get deduction also for the interest what you pay for home loan. That benefit also you have, right? And that can help you to reduce your tax liability. Are you understanding, Shreyas?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So home loan interest, when you file your income tax return, that time you can show this home loan interest as some expense, which you can subtract from your taxable income, and on net amount you can pay tax. For example, 1 lakh is your taxable income. Without this home loan interest, okay, you have to pay tax on this entire amount. 30% is the tax rate. You have to pay 30,000 tax to government. But let's say you have 10,000 is the rate of 10,000 is the interest amount that you can claim deduction. That means that you can reduce from your taxable income and you can pay the tax on the net amount. So now on 90,000, if I pay 30% tax, I'm paying 27,000. So I'm saving how much? 3,000 rupees, correct? Yeah, because of this interest claimed as deduction. So now my expenditure of 10,000 is interest expenditure. My savings is how much? This I'll put in bracket as negative figure. My savings is how much? 3,000. My net cost is how much? 7,000. That means the interest what I'm paying of 10,000 is in actuality how much is the expense for me? 7,000. So I can say 7%, right or wrong? Because 3,000 I'm saving due to tax deduction. Isn't it so?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is the benefit what people have with home loan interest. So here, what I have done smartly is I did not discuss with you about some other alternative investment options also today available in the market, like SIPs, systematic investment plans, mutual funds. Okay, these are in trend today. People also do intraday trading. I am not the one who is advocating any kind of investments, but I'm saying these are the available options. Systematic investment plan, mutual funds. What happens is what are these kind of investments? There's a saying, don't put all the eggs in one basket, because if you put all the eggs in one basket and by mistake if that basket falls, all the eggs would get damaged and you are left over with you are left over with 0x. But if you put 6 eggs in one basket and another 6 eggs in one basket, if one basket falls, another basket has all the eggs safe in it. So still you can use this or not?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Yes. So the
Yes, sir. Yes,
same
sir.
rule applies in, yeah, same rule applies in SIP. Instead of putting all the money in one single company's stock, you can do one thing. You can buy stocks of 10 companies. Let's say I have 10,000 rupees to invest. I will take 10 company stocks. I'll invest my money in all these 10 companies. Let's say 4 companies are going into losses and the combined losses 9%, and this all 6 companies are giving me combined gain of 20%. So my net gain is how much?
11%.
Yeah, if I would have put my money into all 1 to 4 companies, if they would have, let's say if I would have put my company into, let's say if I would have put my investment only into company one, my entire money would have been lost. Okay, this is called portfolio way of investing. So you got a lot of ideas today regarding investments, right? Now,
Yes, sir.
now here I did a smart thing. 5 lakhs I kept cash and 15 lakhs I have put in SIP and mutual funds. The benefit with them is, and I did not take any SIP or mutual fund which has lock-in period. That means if you have lock-in period, you have to wait for 3 or 5 months, 3 or 5 years or 10 years, whatever the security has the lock-in period of. That means let's say you have taken a security which has a lock-in period of 3 years, you cannot withdraw your money. Otherwise, you won't get returns. But I put the money into all those investments which do not any day, any time, I can just withdraw my money. I can sell the securities or stock of that mutual fund or SIP and I can get my money. Okay, I usually do investments in SIPs and mutual funds. So I did a smart move, right? Whenever I want money, I can withdraw. I can like sell the stocks of SIP and cash it. Otherwise, I can hold them and I can, my investments, what I've done of 15 lakhs here, okay, into SIPs and mutual funds will grow. Why? Because I have invested my money in them, right? So 5 lakhs cash I have, 15 lakhs I have put into mutual funds. If I have any emergency also, let's say there is an emergency I got whereby I want 4 lakh rupees. So I have cash reserves of 5 lakhs, right? But here if I want, if I have an emergency of 4 lakhs, I only have 2 lakhs. So case 2 is not good. Case 1 is good, in which my loan is 40 lakhs and I have resources today with me of 20 lakhs and I feel myself very stronger. So this shows 0.50:1 is an ideal cash ratio. Okay. This is. So let me show you the ratios. I will give you a small question. Please solve that.
Yes, sir.
This is what we discussed. Current ratio, quick
Current
ratio,
ratio, quick ratio,
cash
cash
ratio.
ratio.
Yeah. So I'm giving you a question whereby you have to find out these 3 ratios. This is the question, Shreyas. Go through this. Just read this question. Hello. Yeah. Shall I move? Shall I take it down?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
I'm waiting for the question. I'm waiting for the
Okay.
question.
So you have to find out current ratio, quick ratio, cash ratio, three ratios.
Sir, I cannot see the question.
This is the question. Hello.
For this case,
This is, sorry. Yeah, I
okay,
shared the screen. This is the current year values, and this is the previous year values.
which one, sir? I'm still seeing the 20 lakhs. Okay, okay, right. Now I got the screen.
Yeah.
Shall I solve it right now, sir?
Yeah, solve it, please. We'll solve this one. Okay. And we can then wind up. Yeah.
Current assets are 620. Current liabilities are 325.
Yeah. For current ratio, you have to take current assets upon current liabilities. What are your current assets for the current year? Cash and marketable securities, receivables, inventories. You have total of current assets 620. Upon what are the current liabilities you have? 325. So current portion of long-term debt is also a current liability. Let's say you have a loan to be paid in 10 years. Of that current portion, this year you are, let's say you have to pay 10 lakhs in 10 years. This year you are paying 1 lakh out of it. You just made a policy of making this loan payments in 10 years in 10 equal installments of 1 lakh each year, like that. So this is current portion of long-term debt. This is also a current liability. So your current ratio is 620 upon 325.
320.
It is 1.9. We can say this is approximately 2. Okay. So 2 by 1. 2 is to 1 is your ratio. Ideal ratio, correct or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great. Now please go for quick ratio.
Except inventory. 620
Yes,
minus
excellent.
310.
Very good. Very good. Very
310
good.
minus 10 by 225.
You have, except inventory, you have to take both the current assets.
0.95, sir.
Yeah. So you have to take 105 plus 205 whole divided by 325, and you have to look. And cash ratio, you have to take only 105 divided by 325.
105 upon 325.
And you have to check. Okay. And you have to do the same thing for the current year also. Previous year also. Current year done. Previous year you
Yes,
have to do.
sir.
Yeah, please do it.
Yes,
No
sir.
problem. Take your time. I'm giving time. Then I'll show you
I'll
the
wait.
answers.
Liability was 275. Minus 290.
Doing for the previous year? Hello?
Done, sir.
Yeah, done. Done for the previous year, Shreyas. Okay. Hello? Hello?
I have my answers. Done, done.
Done. Okay, okay, Shreyas. Shreyas, you want me to continue for more ratios or tomorrow shall we take?
Uh, Tomorrow which time, sir?
Tomorrow afternoon we'll take. Tomorrow I will finish this ratios chapter complete. I will put a full stop to this.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Hmm?
Let's complete it tomorrow, sir.
Yeah, okay, dear. I'm calling you once. Okay, just a second.